Hey everyone. All right, so I've done my calculations here to answer the question of the client asked, how much do you need to spend on a monthly basis to convert two deals per year, or sorry, two deals per month after being with Agent Locator for 1 year. So here is the answer, and then I will explain how I got to that. So your total monthly cost after 1 year of being with us would be $1,359 a month for you to convert at least 24 deals per year from the platform and from online leads. So your total annual spend is 16,307, and the total you should be making back is 192. Basing that off of that, you're making about $8,000 per transaction. So now let me explain all this for you before we get into it. Um, First off, I'm considering that you are in fact calling and following up with your leads. Remember that if you're not doing that, none of this is going to come to realization and you will not get anything out of it. And we're also using fairly low conversion rates, and I'll explain that by our first year being that we convert at only 0.5% of all the leads that come in. So cost per lead is the first field here. That is essentially how much is each lead costing you. In this case, we're using $9 as an average, and that is fairly accurate. And we're also increasing that cost per lead on an annual basis because the cost per lead does increase annually. Now, your first year conversion rate, as I said, is 0.5%, which means out of all the leads you generate that year, you're only going to convert 0.5% within your first year. And the primary reason your first year conversion rate is lower than the rest is because you stumble. We've honestly seen many clients who get into internet lead generation that truly don't know how to work it properly. And as they go and as they learn, they do get a little bit better, and their conversion rate improves drastically by the second year. And I'll show that to you guys down the road. Um, in this case, in order to get to the 24 deals per year, we are saying that we need to generate about 200 leads per month. And this field also just shows what is the average commission per deal, setting that at 8,000 to get our total profits down here, which I'll explain as well. So now let's look at our first year. Our first year, we need to generate 2,400 leads for the year in order to get to the 24 deals per year the next year. And let me explain how that works. Our monthly Google spend in that case is $1,800 a month. Our monthly agent locator fee is $519. The total cost there is $2,319 per month in your first year of getting into this. That's if you want to be closing 24 deals per year. I will lower these numbers for you guys afterwards to kind of show you more realistic numbers. Your total deals for the first year is only 12 deals from all that money spent, primarily because you're converting at a very low rate of 0.5%. And your cost per deal there is $2,319, which essentially means that every deal you put through ends up costing you about $2,319. So as long as you're making back 8,000 in that case, you don't mind spending the 2,000 even in the first year because you're still making back more. So in this case, you're spending 27, you're making 96 for a profit of 68, and that return is fairly low considering that most of the online lead returns should be higher. Now let's jump on to the next year. So next year, our cost per lead increases by $1. Now, your next year's conversion rate, instead of converting at 0.5%, you've gotten better at your conversion rate, and you're now going to convert at that norm, which is kind of the 1% norm of all online leads. That's going to happen your second year because you've gotten better at your conversion rate and you really know exactly what you're supposed to do. And also, let's not forget about all the leads you've got in the past year. Remember that most of these internet leads are at the very beginning stage of the buying process, which means in your second year, you should be converting at least 0.5% of all the leads you've got in your first year. So for a total conversion rate of 1.5% in your second year, in this case now you're spending a lot less in Google because you don't need to be spending that much because you're converting some of your leads from your second year to get to that 24 per year. So now we're getting a total of 100 leads a month. Our average commission per deal is still the same. And now we're getting a total of 1,200 leads. Our monthly cost in Google is 1,000. Our agent locator costs are 359 for a total of 1359 per month. And total deals, as I said, was 24. And now, in this case, your cost per deal has gone down significantly because of the fact that our conversion rate has increased. So if we're converting more, our cost per deal is going to be less, which means we're going to be making more money by spending less. So we're spending $16,000 to make 192, and then our profit there being 175,000 from that. Interestingly enough, in your third year, this is also very important for a lot of you that continue on with internet lead generation. Your third year, let's say your cost per lead increases a bit. In your third year, you're going to convert still another 0.5% of all the leads from your first year, another 0.5% from those from the previous year, and then you're going to continue to convert at 1% of all the new leads that you come in. That is the norm. Even if you're, after doing it for years, it's hard to get somebody who's not ready to buy immediately. So that ends up staying the same. Your total conversion rate now is 2%. In this case, you're still getting 100 leads a month, and total leads 1,200. The cost increases a little bit because your Google cost increased. Your agent locator also increases because your ad spend is increasing a little bit. Your total monthly cost is a $14.79. Total deals in this case is 29 because you are now converting a little bit higher, and your cost per lead has also decreased a little bit in this case. Now we're spending 17,000 to make 232 for a profit of 214,000. And those are the numbers, folks. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And actually, let me put the percentages here just so you guys can see that. All right, so your return on investment from this campaign in your first year is 144%. So that essentially means you're profiting 67,000 from the 27,000 invested. In your second year, your profit jumps up to 977%, where you're spending 16 and making back 175. And in this case, it is that. Now, I did promise that I'm going to do a video that showcases lower numbers. So for those of you that want to see lower numbers, stick around and let me put some lower numbers in here, and let's actually do this live. So let's say realistically what we want to do is generate about 50 leads per month, and we're going to lower that as well just to see what our costs going to be at that point. So if we're doing 50 leads a month in our first year, we're generating about 600 leads per year. We're going to do 3 deals from the first year. Cost per deal is $2,796. Your total ad spend for the year is $8,000, and you're only making back $24,000 in your first year. Now, your second year is where it gets more interesting, and it gets a little bit nicer. You're going to do 9 deals for a total spend of $9,000, and this is where you start making a little bit better returns. And here as well, I think one of the things that agents do like to do is increase their ad spend as well in your second and third year because they're doing better. So let's do that for a quick second. We're going to say that we're going to do 50 lead increases for every year. So in your second year, because you're seeing this work in your first year, you're going to end up increasing your budget, and you will end up converting 15 deals out of spending 16,000. And you'll have some money as long as you reinvest that money that you're making back, hopefully towards your campaign, so that you can end up making more of that money. So I hope this makes sense. If you guys have any questions, again, please let us know. I know that from doing this for 8 years now, I know how many agents give up on that first year that they don't end up seeing results. And a lot of times the follow-up, you guys know yourselves, if follow-up hasn't been there, if you really truly want to see the results, you got to stick it out, and you got to get into that second year and then call your leads, follow up, do everything you can to get these numbers. These are very realistic numbers, guys. These are not unexpected. And we have many clients that are part of this group that would that are coming out and actually saying that this is actually happening for them. And we also have a ton of clients who are staying quiet, that don't want to come out, and that's completely fine and completely understandable. Anyway, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much for your time. Then 10-minute video now. Sorry about that. Have a good one.